The reason that is because in a way China's kind of breaking antitrust laws.
And we're breaking international laws. So, what would be cool is if we could actually have, K trucks and these Chinese EVs, right? But we're not allowed to because Tesla wouldn't be able to compete with BYD or whatever it is. Or if you did have access to K trucks without having to go through spending double the price on tariffs, why should the government benefit that much?
So, at least for here, when we get taxed, the tax money actually gets put into the infrastructure, so it's not a problem for us over here. Mm-hmm. So I think that's more of a problem of the tax money not being spent properly. Yeah. I honestly don't think Americans would care all that much if you were being taxed a shitload, as long as you could see the outcome. Problem is that it just fucking disappears into the invisible pit that is military.
No, we just, use it to buy bombs for Israel and kill a bunch of Palestinians. And
which is what
apparently Iran in about a couple days. So we'll see how that goes.
I agree with the mission statement of Doge, honestly. I thought Doge was a stroke of genius if it wasn't so executed so poorly.
In spirit, yeah. But here's the problem. We shouldn't give access to government, the controls of government in the aspect of efficiency, to the wealthiest person on the planet, in my opinion.
Agreed.
He's also not American. So why the fuck is he allowed to do that?
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Very weird. I was going to ask the same question because, why shouldn't the Chinese vehicles be able to compete with Tesla? What benefits does Elon Musk have for the common folk?
Well, if America gets to pick what company succeeds and fails in this aspect, then Tesla's the benefactor there, and Americans don't get a choice in that aspect. I mean, you can buy a Chinese vehicle, but it's just more expensive. And so this goes back to that. It incentivizes you to just get an American vehicle because it's a fucking headache to have it imported overseas, pay the tariff, tax stamp, and blah, 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 all that shit. Even though a $50,000 Chinese EV is like a $90,000 luxury vehicle in America.
The reason that is because in a way China's kind of breaking antitrust laws.
And we're breaking international laws. So,
it's more to do with the fact that they're undercutting the free market by kind of taking advantage of its weaknesses. That's illegal in the US. And I kind of agree that, if they're doing that, I think it's probably fine to not allow the things just out of principle. Because if somebody's producing anything and massively undercutting and making a huge loss just so that they can destroy the competition before they increase prices again, that's a problem. And that's exactly what BYD are doing.
If China has found a way to manufacture an EV, make it cheaper than an EV in America, just in the spirit of capitalism. If a competitor is capable of doing it better and cheaper than you, why would you restrict consumers from having access to it?
Absolutely. And they don't. You let me know when they manage to do that.
Well,
because the problem is that they're not doing. So the reason is because the companies that are producing these vehicles are getting a huge payout from the government producing those cars in order to sell them abroad and destroy the foreign economy, the foreign markets for them. Eventually, the foreign markets will be purchasing from BYD, and then they'll just fucking increase the price massively, like they've done in almost every other industry.
Here's where my confusion comes from. In the aspect that America used to be a manufacturing hub of the world, we invented assembly line. Cool.
Yeah.
And then other countries started doing it. Then we scaled back our manufacturing because we weren't bombing another country. China was like, okay, I'll start doing it. They have the manpower, the scale to do it, and they have the efficiency to do it because of the top-down style government that they have. If Xi Jinping says this 1,000 square mile area is going to be dedicated to manufacturing, everything leads to this in terms of roads, trains, rail system, blah, 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 all that. This is the hub. I'm going to make sure that people get paid well, that they can afford a house, the American dream, but now it's the Chinese dream in this example. And then they did that for 40, 50, 60 years. And now China has the the most rapid declining poverty rate.
Yep.
Why can't we do that?
I can tell you why. The reason why is because you can't accept a single ruler for that long.
Right.
Generally because that sort of stuff falls apart. China's got incredibly lucky in the fact that they've managed to find someone who genuinely cares about China's future and who was like, I'm going to make some very smart decisions and listen to the smartest people to make all these decisions in order to propel China into the future. America is like, well, how about we outsource that? And then the public can have terrible education on these things, gets to vote and decide. side. Of course, the progress is going to be slower. China's like, we can make sacrifices now for our children's future.
Yes.
And everyone was like, okay, I'll do it. Let's work on it.
And now on the way to being the number one economy on the planet. Now, listen, there's a reason there's an American flag behind me. USA number one, baby. I think tied, if not very close to first in gold medals. Canada will see you in hockey in just a moment. But with that being said,
Oh, it was Norway it was doing.
is it Norway? I thought we were going up against Canada.
No, Canada's not doing so good.
Get fucked. Anyway, with that being said, I love this country, but I am also capable of critiquing it. And that critique stems from that observation that you made. We don't want that single top-down authoritarian style plan of attack. America is very sluggish in the way that it was designed. It's meant to be slow, which is unfortunate because, fuck, we definitely could have done high-speed rail like fucking 60 years ago and killed it. But now I have to watch high-speed rail videos in Japan and Germany and Europe and all these other places that I would love to be, but can't because we're too dead set on making sure that a handful of companies can continue to pollute the earth with dog shit of F-250 Hemis, 6.7 liter diesel. Like, cool, your truck is awesome.
I mean, you've got, sorry to cut across, right? You've got the President of the United States who, like, doesn't believe in climate change, you see?
Bro, you know what the President of the United States is going to do? He's going to release all the info on alien life and UFOs.
There's no alien life. It's a secret government agency that does, and this is genuinely my theory, and I feel like I'm pretty spot on with this. Think of it like this. The Blackbird, the B-2 bomber, people saw that in the sky. Like, they saw it around, they're like, what the fuck is that? That must be a UFO. Then it turns out it was just the B-2 bomber. There's an agency that does advanced research and advanced technology. And they're always 20 years ahead. And then slowly they trickle that shit out.
We don't need to
And
be
I
running
don't-
on oil anymore. Like, it's
I
a
don't
hot
think
take,
that's
but we
a balloon.
moved out of that a long time ago.
Yeah.
We could run purely on nuclear and fucking lithium-ion batteries, and we should have been for the last 10 years, in my opinion.
But now you have to tell every car manufacturer to get
Well,
fucked.
I mean-
the economy would fucking collapse.
Problem is, right, that if petroleum companies or whatever they are, you know, they don't like this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, but they don't understand. They just need to diversify. Although, to be fair, the oil companies, all they really needed to do is invest in nuclear, and then they would not take a loss. The oil companies could become the nuclear companies.
What about 0 point energy?
We're not there yet. Here's where I think the oil companies won't jump on the opportunity. Because once that technology gets out, and that technology is out, was it molten salt thorium?
Yeah, thorium.
You can make that super small to the point where a neighborhood could run off of that. It's safe. There's this big like pushback against it because Chernobyl was bad, Fukushima was bad, 3 Mile Island. So we've conditioned an entire generation, 2 generations of people thinking that nuclear is bad when you just got to take like basic fucking precaution. I'm not a fucking nuclear scientist, but I'm pretty confident that some people got this shit figured out, but we're not pushing it because our economy would collapse in the sense that cars would no longer matter. You can still have a car if you want, but it's going to be mad expensive because the only reason that we have this many cars and they're the price that they are is because they're mass produced.